What's up, everybody? I am Mckenty. This is my second channel. This is where I normally talk about marketing and business, personal development, stuff like that. But I've started uploading a couple of my podcasts here just because people have asked for it. So I thought I would see what happens. Today's guest is JERIS Johnson. He's one of the most exciting, interesting musicians that I've seen in quite a while. You may know him from blowing up on TikTok with his song Damn, where he flipped that banjo beat that had been going around, and more recently, his collaboration with Papa Roach. They redid their hit song Last Resort with him. Super smart, thoughtful guy. Hopefully you will like this episode as much as I did. If you did, subscribe to the podcast. There's a link in the description to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also check out our merch and Patreon, also my email newsletter where I send out a link to all my new content every week. So check that stuff out if you are so inclined. And with that out of the way, let's get into this episode. JERIS Johnson, welcome to the podcast.
Yo, yo, yo.
So you just got back from Oregon. You're originally from, is it Medford?
Almost Eugene. I'm from Eugene, which is like...
That's the big city compared to Medford.
Kind of, yeah. But funny enough, like I spent a ton of time in Medford because my band, my old band used to play all of our shows in Southern Oregon, just like all in Medford, because that's where like nobody had anything to do except for go to live shows. So that's where we fucking do live shows. So I've spent a lot of time in Medford. It's like a second home to me, you know, but no, born and raised Eugene, the 541 PNW, baby.
Don't get dazzled by those big city lights in Eugene.
I won't, dude. The biggest lights in Eugene are the ones at Autzen Stadium.
There you go.
Go, baby.
I was talking about this earlier today with my wife, and she said he's like the edgy Charlie Puth. How do you feel about that?
Dude, what's funny is that she is not the only one that's ever said that. And it's like, I guess I like it, you know, I'll take it.
He's fucking brilliant. So you could do a lot worse.
He's a fucking genius. No doubt about it. Dude's got that perfect pitch, you know, he's always flexing on the TikTok.
Yep.
And I don't have that, but I guess what I have that people are comparing that to is just like a pop sensibility, like to my stuff, and also like the falsetto voice and shit like.
Well, so I was watching some of your TikToks earlier. You did one for like your PS5 giveaway a couple weeks ago or whatever it was. You said it had changed your life in the past couple months. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. You know, I don't really know anything about you other than what is on your TikToks. I found you, I think through your Teen Spirit cover a few months back. And then,
on TikTok? On TikTok first?
No, I think it was on YouTube. I'm not sure.
So you saw the video, like the actual like YouTube video of it? Or you saw
I can't remember, to be honest. I just remember the song I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then Damn is what made me, you know, really take notice more so than that. So, and I feel like probably a lot of people had a similar, you know, journey to discover you. So can you just kind of walk us through the last few months and how TikTok has changed your life?
Yeah. Man, this year has obviously been interesting for everybody, but it's been also very interesting for me. It's kind of like, in order to understand like the last few months, I kind of have to explain like the whole year, or in a way, you know, and just like everything else sort of is like, I'm one of those like kids that has been doing music forever. Like literally since I knew like from a super young age, like music is my thing. I'm going to do music. I kind of discovered, I mean, I did sports like for a little while growing up, but my dad was a drummer and my mom was a singer, and they met in bands. And so I kind of had like the music, like gene in me or something, you know? Mm-hmm. And I picked up the drums at like age 12 or whatever, and started going to these like rock band camps, which really like made me realize this is what I want to do, you know? Oh, I just want to do this. And so I kind of discovered that, and I was like 12, 13, and I literally never looked back, and I just went for it 100% and never had a plan B, never did anything like that. And so it's been like they say, you know, the saying is like, it takes 10 years to blow up overnight or whatever.
Yeah.
And for me, it's literally taken 10 years to blow up overnight. Like that phrase has become actually 100% true.
So how old are you now?
I'm 24.
Okay.
So it made basically even more, more than
Yeah.
like almost 11 years, essentially. But I was trying like with music from the age of 13. Like I had my band and we were playing shows. And I did that all throughout high school. And then everybody went off to college, except for me. And I was like, okay, well, I know I'm going to do music. So I got to figure that out. Started picking up Ableton and like trying to learn how to produce. And I knew I was good at writing pop songs. And like, I was just trying to like figure it all out. And it's taken me literally like, you know, 6 years from that, from the age of like 18 to 24 to kind of like get to where I'm at now. And then the whole year started, obviously like TikTok started really becoming like a thing towards the end of 2019, like in terms of at least my exposure to it, like everybody started talking about it and whatever. And so I downloaded it then, and then I started posting like in 2020. And the first thing I did that went viral was a cover of The Box, where me and my mom sang it. And
I didn't see that.
It was 100% a ploy to go viral, and it worked. Like I knew, I was like, okay, Mom, yo, if we just like sing it, I'll like produce this little guitar thing and we'll sing it and we'll do harmonies, and like I guarantee you it will go viral.
And how many followers did you have when you posted that?
Zero, like zero on TikTok. And then I posted that and it went viral and it got like 2 million hits or whatever on TikTok. Wow. Like in like not very long of time, like a couple of days, whatever, like it does on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And that jumped me up to like 50K. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I got started, like I'm started. And like I started getting some more Instagram followers and like all that shit. And then I kind of kept doing the covers with me and my mom because it was like, okay, it's working, you know, like we'll just do this, we'll do that. And like none of them ever had the same level of like success. And
I was going to say, I'm kind of amazed that you got a home run on your first try, because that's not typically how it works on TikTok.
Well, it wasn't really my first try. I was posting other TikToks before that, but that was the one that was within like the first month of me, like month or two of me posting on TikTok. I got that one. But even before TikTok, like I'd been posting things like trying to go viral, like on Twitter and Instagram and, you know, YouTube. And like, I'd been trying for like years, you know, to go viral.
So you had posted hundreds of pieces of content before you got that box cover that really took off.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, but on TikTok, it looks like it was one of the, you know, first ones or whatever. So I posted that, and that was like February of this year, and started kind of going down that rabbit hole with like the covers and stuff. And then was kind of like, okay, well, how do I transition this to like my real music? Cause like all the while I've been like kind of releasing, like putting out music that I've since wiped. Like, so if you go on my Spotify now, it's like all gone because it's just trash compared to
is it really trash though, or is it just trash to you?
I mean, I don't know, because it's me, but it's trash to me. And like, and it's also just not even close to like the style. Like the thing that happened, I'll kind of fast forward to the damn TikTok, which was the next one that went viral. So basically I had this huge lull after the box thing where I was like trying for months, and then just like, kept fading away. And then it's like I was like going through a clout withdrawal, you know, just hating life.
I'm in the middle of one of those right now.
Oh man, they're the worst. A clout. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use that one.
Yeah, those suck. But I was going through one and I was like, man, I've been trying on TikTok and all this stuff. And then I started around the time when everybody was talking about like TikTok was going to get banned and stuff. I was like, good, ban it. Fuck it. Fuck TikTok. I hate it. Like everyone's getting famous on it and I'm not. And I'm just like, this is so annoying. And then like my last ditch effort was like the damn TikTok. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to try something totally new, like totally new format, like a whole different thing. And I tried the damn TikTok, and, you know, I posted it, and then I like put my phone on like airplane mode, and I was like, all right, just wait, like don't look at your phone for like 3 hours, because I thought maybe it would go viral. Like I was like, this is pretty interesting, like pretty cool.
That beat had been used in a bunch of viral stuff before. Is
Yeah,
that right?
it was
Yeah.
the beat. It was the banjo beat that was like
Yeah.
circulating throughout TikTok. But I hadn't seen anybody ever do anything like this to it, which was like write a song to it or something, you know?
People
So I
were
was
just like doing dances and shit.
yeah, people were just doing dances or whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
Bella Porch would do her little like head bop, like face zoom thing and shit. And so I was like, okay, you know, what if I just like wrote a song to it and just like posted that and see what happened? And like, I just kind of stumbled on something like sort of randomly, like that style and that like tone of my voice and just like that flow and stuff was not really something that I was doing in my original music at the time, but for whatever reason, just like came to me like through that doing that. And I posted that and I checked my phone like 2 hours later and I saw I had like 400,000 hits. I was like, yes, oh my God, it's going fun. And then I was just glued to my phone for
The
like
TikTok gods love me again.
yeah, dude. Yes, the Chinese are letting
Right.
me become famous again. And like all of a sudden it just started going nuts. And this one was like different because it wasn't just like, oh, funny like kid and his mom like singing a rap song. It was like they were liking it because of me. And
Right,
like
right.
they were finding me and so interesting. And
Because
like
that's the double-edged sword with kind of some of these things like covers and silly viral things is like you get 2 million views, but do they really care about you?
yes. Is it translating to like fans?
Right.
Is it translating to people who actually give a fuck about you? And like, you know, and all the other prior things, it wasn't really translating, but this one translated. It felt different. It was just like people just like, I don't know, something about it just like clicked. And then I was like, oh boy, I've got it now. And that just ran up the number. So in like, you know, 3 or 4 days, it had like three or 4 million hits or something. And I was like, oh man, this is going to move the needle on some level. And that ballooned me up to like 200K followers there. And then I started posting like, no, and I was like, boom, this idea, this like little remix, this cover thing. And then like the Teen Spirit one was the next one I posted that like went really viral and everybody wanted the full version. So I went and made a full version. I put it on YouTube. And then it just kind of started this snowball like cascade of just everything. And then we were able to put out Damn, like the full song. And then that ran up the numbers. It got like #1 on the rock charts for like the first 3 days. It was up. And like we put it as rock because we're like, screw it. Like I'm a rock. Like I'm gonna be a rock artist. So
what's
like,
interesting is that like that's totally not a rock song per se, but it makes sense to put it in the rock category. And I think that's an interesting thing that's happening in music right now is that like it's more about like the vibe of rock than the sound of rock necessarily that makes it rock. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, like what? Elvis Presley was rock or something, some shit like that. But that doesn't sound like rock. That doesn't sound like rock as we know it or whatever. So it's just the rock is really an energy to me. You know what I mean? It's an energy, and this is something I've become very passionate about. Like over the past like 6 months, I'd say. It's like really wanting to, because growing up, like being in metal bands and like listening to like tons of rock and metal and shit, it just feels like the like redheaded stepchild that got left behind or something. Like, like in the 2000s, it was like the coolest genre of music. It was like dominating the charts, you know, like rock and butt rock and like all this shit was like the coolest shit. It was like the most popular and it was dominating a lot of the charts back then. And then after that phase, you know, of it having all that energy, it just has never, ever been like that again. It's never had a resurgence. It just feels stuck in the mud. You know, like I was watching your butt rock video yesterday and you're talking about how every song on like the radio stations, the rock radio stations is the same ones from 20 years ago.
Yep.
Like, and it's totally true. It is. And like, what happened? You know, like it was the type of music like that was on the forefront of like kind of just like pushing the boundaries and shit. And like, and then it just stopped. It just stopped
and
being.
Part of that I think is because people aren't trying to write hits, which is part of what made me take notice of what you're doing is like the shit you write sounds like it could be a hit.
Good.
You know what I mean? And I feel like bands now, it's almost like a dirty word like people would look at you sideways if you said, well, this one might be a hit.
Yeah. Well, that's a shitty fucking attitude.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. It is like it's like a taboo or something like that.
Right.
Because I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to describe what's happened.
You
Like
think Nikki Sixx ever fucking felt bad about writing a hit?
Of course not. No, of course not. Or any,
Apologized for it?
literally name anyone from that era, or any of the songs that I like remix or remake on my TikToks and put my own spin on. Those are all hit songs. Those are all hits from that era. And like, a hit isn't like for one, I fell in love with like trying to write pop music for like from the age of 18 to like, so I was doing metal and stuff. And then I transitioned into like trying to make pop. And I was like trying to make pop from like 18 to like 23 ish. And only this year have I really discovered how to like blend my roots and like being super creative and like making crazy art and that I want to make and that I think is cool with still writing the shit that I have fun writing, which happens to be really catchy and simple and like, like a hook or whatever. Like I love that shit. I love doing that. And it's just what comes naturally to me in like my ear, or whatever, like my melodies, just like, that's just what I gravitate towards. It's just that type of thing. So it's important to me to like make everything like catchy and good and like simple. And I just want to bring rock into the fucking future, man. Like I want to make it sound like it came from 2030. I want to just, I promise you that you'll never hear a JERIS song that is just like drums and guitar ever. Like I always want to make like rock, but I want to change like the definition or like help push that whole thing forward. And I think I feel this energy like brewing right now where like, okay, people have done like MGK, who we've talked about a bunch this year and whatever, like the whole pop punk thing and the emo thing. And like, that's had its resurgence in like being cool, you know, but like rock still kind of hasn't yet.
People are totally ready for it though.
People are so ready, man.
They want it.
I'm feeling it bubbling right now. This like sense. And it's gonna take something that feels like nothing you've heard before to do it. But it's still like catchy and like, accessible and all that shit. And that is like my goal and like my purpose in life is to push music forward and like make a huge impact on this genre that I have loved for my entire life and just help usher in a new generation of it. I
think you got a shot at it. I mean it. I mean it, man. Your songs are fucking great. And I'm very jaded, but I think your shit is fucking incredible.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Let's talk about some of these collabs that you've been doing. So the Chad Kroeger feature on Damn, tell us about that. How did that happen?
Yeah, dude. So basically, when the Damn TikTok went viral, or like anytime you go viral, or like something I've realized about quote unquote fame, now that I've observed all this for like the past couple of months, is like you really learn to realize who people think you look like and sound like and remind them of, because they're like, always.
Oh, you're like Chad Kroeger with AIDS.
Yeah. They're always trying to reach for like something that's they're familiar with or something to compare you to. And I got so many Chad Kroeger comparisons. And that was something I have literally never thought about in my entire fucking life, that I would compare to fucking Chad Kroeger or Nickelback or anything like that. And half the comments on that Damn TikTok were like Chad Kroeger comments. So I was like, you know what would be fucking incredible is if we got a Nickelback feature on the remix. And so I, from all this happening, I signed a deal with I'm signed to 300, and I my A&R, like this was kind of right after Damn happened, and like once the day I released Damn, like the full song on Spotify, every label called me.
I'm
Like
sure.
every single label called me that day. I was on the phone for like the entire weekend, like just constantly talking to everybody.
Were you expecting that to happen?
Not really. I mean, I knew that they were gonna all start coming out of the woodwork because of what I was doing on TikTok and how many followers I was getting and like just how much noise I was making. But like, I didn't realize that they were just waiting for me to drop Damn. Like it was like they all knew about me and like had my number, and then as soon as I actually dropped the song, I was like, hey, look, I'm a real artist. Like
that's weird. I wonder why that would be the thing that they're waiting for, but
I'm not sure. I literally have no idea, but the day I dropped Damn on Spotify was the day that everybody called. So, from all that chaos.
So there's a lesson there for people is put shit out.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing is, TikTok is fucking amazing and it's blowing up a lot of artist careers, including mine, but it's also like labels are, and music industry people are not, a lot of them are not stupid. Like a lot of them know the difference between like just a TikTok kid and like a real, you know what I mean? So they're looking for people to prove that they're a real artist with something to say and like, people who care about them. Like
and who has their shit together enough to get a song on Spotify, which is not the hardest thing in the world, but there's a lot of people who can't even do that.
No, totally. Yeah. You got to get art. You got to drop it. We dropped it with a video and a thing, just like, so we were, showing that like, hey,
so you did the video and all that stuff before you were signed.
Not the lyric video. Yes. Which is the one that's like, I'm in this, just in the studios, like really DIY one after like, we dropped the official music video.
Got it. Okay.
But anyways, I ended up signing a deal with 300 and then my A&R who I love, I just approached him about the idea of like a Nickelback feature on the remix. Like, yo, is this even possible? Like, I don't even know if it's possible. And he was like, I love it. I love it. And they just went out and hustled and got a hold of him and made it happen. And yeah, he was just down to do it. He really liked the song and he thought I was entertaining. And like, he was just like, cool. And so I wrote him his verse. Like he asked me to just write the verse for him. Cause he was like, I don't know do on this thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll just write it. He ended up tweaking like some of the lyrics and stuff, which I was super down for.
Yeah.
But and then he cut the vocal, got it back, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't believe this is real.
It's like when you actually get the WeTransfer link or something and you're like, oh my God, and you download it and you're like, holy fuck, I have a fucking Chad Kroeger vocal track.
Yeah, dude, just listening to the acapella, I was like, this is literally the guy who shaped like a part of my childhood. You know what I mean? And like I'm in a song with him. Even if it's just a remix or whatever, I was just like, wow, what a fucking honor. And I was just like, this is just the type of shit that I want to do. Like just pull from this forgotten sort of hated era and just go, no, like this shit was fire. And like, and sort of it's kind of like getting an endorsement from him feels like a passing on of the torch in a way.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And like, it just was really special to me to like.
It reminds me of when nu metal became cool again around like 2011 or 12. And like Suicide Silence had Korn on their album. And that was sort of when it was like the same sort of thing of like, the old guard like passing the torch a bit and the young kids saying like, hey man, this stuff was cool, we respect it. And it feels like the same thing is happening now with butt rock and as I called your music butt trap.
Yeah, dude, I cannot believe I saw that tweet and I was like, this man just like, you just discovered my secret. you just like told the world my secret that I've been stashed away, for like a few months now.
It's okay.
Like,
this is what I do.
I know, but you're smart. You're always like on it with the, predicting of the future. Like you have a good mind for like understanding the tide. You know what I mean?
Pattern recognition.
Yeah.
And so you have another collab coming up that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Papa Roach, baby. Papa Roach, the GOAT.
Yes.
The GOAT. this
A,
one,
a band that who is very smart, by the way, and for anybody who doesn't know, they keep their ear to the street. Like they're not one of these like disconnected old fart bands that isn't paying attention. They're paying attention to what's going on, and so it doesn't surprise me at all that they're working with you.
dude, this what we're about to do, what we're about to do to the beginning of 2021 is the testament to that statement. Like they, for one, I posted the remix, and this one is like a much bigger deal to me than the Nickelback one, just because of the like interaction and like relationship I've built with them now, and just like how it's all like happened. So
A little bit more of a true collaboration than just like a feature.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. This was like, I posted I thought, okay, it'd be cool to like do, put my spin on Last Resort and put it on TikTok and see what happens. I did, and then it went viral, and then like, really quickly, like 2 days after I posted it, the guitar player of Papa Roach DM'd me on Instagram, was like, yo, that was fire. Like that was really good. And then I was like, oh my God, dude, like, thank you. That's fucking awesome. Like, so good. And then we started just like kind of going back and forth. And I was kind of like, I wonder if I could just like get in the room with them and like just do a TikTok or something, just like, I don't know, just hang, like just meet him, like tell him thank you for like liking it, and just like, I don't know, just like talk, just hang out with him. And sure enough, they were like down in LA working at the studio on their new album, like a week or two after I posted it. And they invited me over, and I met them, and like they were just so nice, like just the coolest guys. And as we were getting to know each other, we kind of were like, yo, like, should we like maybe like release this with you or something? And I was like, if you want. They're like, oh,
yes.
They're like, well, I mean, it's just going crazy viral, and everyone's asking for like the release. Everyone's asking to like put it out. Like, do you maybe want to, or do you want to just do a remix? Like, what are you thinking? I was like, honestly, in a perfect world, like we would do something like together, and they're like, yeah, cool. So
were you like, were you nervous to ask?
Not really, because like at that point we were vibing like so well, it's just like I was hanging out with Jacoby, mainly the singer, and we were just like getting along really well. Like we were just super connecting, and like,
so you could kind of tell that the door was open.
I could kind of tell, like, just by the way the conversation was going, I was like, okay, they like me, like they're probably down for maybe doing something, or at least giving me permission to like release it or do something. So then we kind of devised a plan, like, all right, let's film this little like TikTok, this like teaser TikTok, and just like see how it reacts and responds. So then I filmed the one of like me and Jacoby in the studio, and then posted that, and that one went crazy viral. That one went double as viral as the original one did, and that was just us like dancing around in the studio and just like kind of singing to the camera,
Yeah.
And then it was very clear that on everybody on their team, everybody on my team, everyone was like, okay, we're doing this. Like, we are releasing this. Let's make it. So then I got to work with my co-producer, and we started like producing the whole rest of the song. And like, cause all I had was like that 50-second, clip. I didn't make a full song or anything.
Right.
I just had TikTok. So we made the full like track, like started writing the second verse. We brought Jacoby in, had him over to our studio, had him cut all new vocals, like everything. And then, now we're sitting on like this finished project of this crazy like remake of one of the biggest hit songs ever, just like ever. And like, I had a moment where it was like, kind of a realization of like the weight and the magnitude of like what was happening. Like, oh my God, we're about to release like a remake of one of the most impactful songs ever. And like, out of all people on planet Earth, they asked me to do it.
I mean, that's their song, that's the one that made them. I mean, they have other hits, but like, that's the one.
That's the one. I mean, their Spotify is like what? I mean, dude, that song, even though it came out 20 years ago, way before Spotify, that song has like 600 million streams on Spotify. Right. Dude, I mean, like crazy smash hit of a song. And it's like kind of in like meme culture now and shit also. Mm-hmm. Like it's just like it's a perfect song to take into a new era and like remake for like a new generation. And we're gonna see if we can fucking make it a hit again. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna see if we can make it a hit again. And it's like, you know, honestly, like this new version it is not like the original version, you know. It is definitely
Is this the one that I've heard?
I sent it to you, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's not a cover.
It's not a cover. It's definitely like its own song for sure. And you know, like we'll see what happens. It's dropping in January. I don't know when this podcast is going to go up, but if it goes up soon, then it's dropping in January. And I'm just really excited about that because it's just the idea of like it's that continuation of what I was saying with the Nickelback thing, just that passing on of the torch and that kind of like bringing this forgotten and like sort of hated on era and aesthetic of music and pushing it forward into like a whole new thing to where it sounds like not really, it just sounds like something you haven't heard before. And like, you know.
Well, I have some questions for you, like kind of digging deeper into how you did this. But first, I have to make a suggestion. All I ask, you know, I've been saying this for a few months, but you got to bring back the Affliction drip. I feel like it's perfect for you.
Dude.
Like the big stitch boot cut jeans with the bedazzled dragon on the back and an In Flames shirt.
Way ahead of you, bro. I literally, before we got on this Zoom call, just ordered like $500 worth of like fucking like tap out and like, you know, Walmart. Like, dude, I'm gonna go. I think it's such a funny like blend. And honestly,
leather wrist cuffs.
Yeah, dude. It was honestly,
leather wrist cuffs.
It was honestly kind of fucking sick back in the day, like just those crazy patterns and like crazy designs, and like it's gonna be sick again. Like I will make that shit cool as fuck.
I've been looking for somebody, you know, it's like, you know how like in the fantasy movies everyone tries to pull the sword out of the stone but they can't because they're not the chosen one, you know. It's that, except it's an affliction sword, and I've been looking for somebody who could pull it out of the stone, but I feel like you may be the chosen one.
Yes, I am, baby. Sword gang. You know, it's funny that you mentioned swords because they're kind of my thing. You know, I got this fucking sword shit going on. I got my sword earrings, baby. I got my sword necklace. You know, my name, the name JERIS, my birth name, but this is not a stage name. It means holder of the mighty sword. So, you know,
I feel like anybody could say that about their name, though. You know, it's like, well, my name is Marcus, and you know, in ancient, you know, Gaelic, that means the holder of the sword.
Yeah, well, fuck that, because they're a poser. JERIS is
when someone tells you what their name is, it's never something lame or like, you know, like Adam Carolla would talk about how when someone like does astrology and there's like, oh, you know, my ancient ancestors' spirit spoke to me, and it's always like they were a king or a queen. It's never like, it was just some guy that like worked at a stable, you know, broke his leg and died when he was like 28.
You know, to be honest, it's just my parents just found my name in a name book and they said that's what the name book said. So fuck if I know if it actually means that throughout history.
It was the sword gods speaking to them that guided their hand to that page in the book, though.
Yeah, you know,
that's what they don't know.
I mean, you know, who knows? Like, I don't know exactly what my origins are. You know, I've always felt I was from a different place, you know, than Earth, and like, you know, I do feel like I am the chosen one, in a lot of ways, and like, not even in any kind of a bad way, but just like, literally, I've just always felt so different. And like, I guess every artist feels that way. Like every artist feels like a fucking, I'm so special. Like I'm so different or weird, but like,
I think special and different, those are not exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? Like special is good. Different is not necessarily, like feeling special is one thing. Feeling different is not necessarily a good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a mixed bag for me. I don't know. I've really liked it and sometimes. And then like obviously just like when you're young and shit, like
It's not good.
really fun. It's really fun to be different when you're fucking famous. Because
Yeah.
then
But when
because
you're
then
the weirdo,
yeah, because then you're not weird. Then you're just fucking cool. You know, so it's like now that I have 1 million followers and shit, I can be as weird as I fucking want to, and it doesn't even matter. Like,
right.
but if I was to be that in high school, like I wasn't weird in high school. I was pretty normal, honestly. But just like, you know, I wasn't cool or anything. I wasn't like a cool kid. I was never like a popular or
Like if
anything like
Nikki Six walks into 7-Eleven right now acting like Nikki Six, you're like, damn, that's Nikki Six. But if he was the same guy, except he played in a local band, you'd be
yeah,
like, oh, fuck, man, that guy is
yeah,
sad.
cringe,
Yeah.
gross. It's
Yeah.
funny how double standard like that, but you know, it's like I don't know, man. I just like something that you nail on a lot in your videos and shit, which is like being an entertainer, you know,
hmm
and that is something that's really clicked for me. And like it's something I totally understood back when I had my band, like, and I was a fucking teenager, and like we used to put on crazy shows, and I would wear the weirdest shit, and like we'd be breaking guitars, and I'd be standing up and playing the drums, and I'd be fucking just like headbutting my cymbals and shit, and I just knew like. I mean, it was just fun to do, but also I knew that people wanted to fucking show, and like I knew I needed to stand out. But like when I took that detour to like trying to make pop music, I had sort of lost that like part of
hmm
myself. You know, I'd lost that like freak show part of myself. And then as I've gotten older and like just more comfortable with like who I am and just like what I have to say, like artistically, you know, I've just become more and more in tune with like people just want, especially this year, people are looking for anything to fucking distract themselves.
Yeah.
People are looking for any shit that just grabs your attention. And you literally have to do that. You have to be interesting. You have to be fucking captivating to people. You cannot just, it is not, unfortunately, it is not good enough anymore to just like shred or some shit. Like,
Unless you were the most insane shredder the planet has ever seen.
yeah. Yeah. But
You know,
like,
if you were literally, if it's just a spectacle to watch you play that you're that insane, like that works. But anything short of that is like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
yeah, but there's literally 10 people that are like that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like,
Unless you're one of those 10, it doesn't
yeah.
matter.
And you probably aren't. So you're gonna have to figure out a way to fucking what you're bringing to the fucking table in terms of, you know, just like what makes you fucking captivating. Why do people? Because something I learned young about life was that nobody gives a fuck about you at all. So and like we're hardwired that way. We're hardwired to give a fuck about ourselves. And really, at the end of the day, not very many other people. We give a fuck about like our family and our friends as a byproduct.
Kind of.
as a byproduct of giving a fuck,
right.
because we don't want to, because they add value to our lives and we don't want to lose that.
We need somebody to, it's like evolution. Like we need somebody to help us go pick berries.
Yeah, exactly. So of course we like love them or want or care about them or want them to like survive or something because you know, it helps you. So at the end of the day, we're all just selfish as fuck, of course. I'll be the first to admit that, like whatever. And, you know, I realized that, okay, well, if nobody in the world gives a fuck about me, then how do I get people to give a fuck about me?
Yep.
You know, like, how do all these artists get people to give a fuck about them? Because humans are intrinsically wired to not give a fuck about anybody else. So you have to sort of invade their lives and invade their mind in such a way that makes them like pay attention to you or care about you, whether that's with incredible music or drama or being funny or just being weird or whatever the fuck it is. Like you just have to,
or all of the above.
Yeah, you have to live in people's heads rent free. Like you just fucking have to. And the greatest artists throughout time, no matter if they were painters or fucking influencers or musicians or whatever, the greatest artists of all time got people talking about them. They were captivating.
Nobody just sat in their room making their thing and sort of put it out on the table like, oh, hey, you know, if you want to check this out, that'd be cool. But if you don't, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Nobody throughout all of history, like, you know, it just, the people who had the biggest fucking impact were the ones that everybody was talking about and everybody was most polarized. And like going back to the whole like, you know, butt rock and like that era of music and everything, like being hated on, is like, you know, Nickelback is quote unquote one of the most hated like bands ever, but like they're also one of only like 20 music artists in history to go multi-diamond.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, they're like basically the most successful you could ever be, ever. Like they're up there with Michael Jackson, Taylor
Mariah
Swift,
Carey or something.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's like the biggest, highest selling artist ever. And they are right there in that like top 10, top 20, whatever. And they're like, you know, quote unquote, super hated or whatever. It's just, it's obvious. This is something people talk about all the time. And I think people know this now, but just like being polarizing and being hated is just a sign that you are interesting and just doing something, just striking a nerve, you know? And that is something that was also evident with like my damn TikTok, which was all the fucking like, just like kind of hater fucking comments that I got on that shit, and just like,
which you've turned into content.
Which I've turned into content, yes. And just like, you know, like, it's just, I've never ever felt bad by a hater comment, because I just know that like it just means I'm totally doing the right thing.
What feels fucking bad is when they don't care.
Yeah. You won't survive. Like the internet and TikTok and whatever. How many fucking people are on TikTok now? 1 billion or something, you know, like
something like that. Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of people on TikTok. How the fuck are you going to get any attention for your art or your music if you are fucking as boring as watching paint dry and you're just Mr. fucking vanilla? Like, just sorry, but like nobody cares. And honestly, if you're a truly great artist, like if you are a truly like, you have something to fucking say, you have a unique vision on the world and music, and you have a crazy sound, and you're a crazy producer, whatever it is, like you're doing something truly like crazy and unique with your art, like you can't not be like that. Like, the greatest artists don't even have to try to be that way.
And in fact, they don't have a choice. They can't be anything other than that, even if it's hurting them.
Yeah, they're just fucking crazy. They're just mad, you know, and like that's the way they are. They're just fucking mad. Like anybody, like name any great artist throughout all of history.
This is true for like entrepreneurs, like founders too. Like they're crazy, just like exceptional people. Like this is where you're talking about being special or different. Like exceptional people are not fucking normal, you know?
Not at all.
I've been around a lot of them in my life. And that is the one common thing throughout all of them, is they're not fucking normal.
Not at all. And that's something I've realized about fame in general, and just like seeing people comment about me and just like talk about me and stuff, is like, I've really realized like why people get famous, quote unquote, is just because they just are so different than everybody else that they just can't not be like, like they just draw that attention, because like you're walking through a crowd, right? And there's like, you know, a bunch of quote unquote normal people or whatever. And then there's like a famous, like Post Malone or some shit like that. Like he walks through the crowd and you're like, well, your eyes just, you couldn't not
They're like a magnet.
Yeah, you couldn't not see that guy walking through a crowd. He's just different than everybody else. He just looks different. He acts different. He just is a different type of person. The same way if a fucking alien came down and invaded Earth, literally the whole world would look at him and he'd become the most famous. The alien would become the most famous thing on planet Earth in one day, just because.
Like, dude, it's a fucking alien.
Yeah, the only reason is because he's different than everybody else. That's it. If he was just a human, wouldn't be like that. So it's just like that's something I really realized about fame or just artists, is just like, it's just that when you stand out like that, people just like can't help but like talk about you, I guess, or something. If you are different like that. whether that's whether that's because you're just like a really hot girl, or like you're just so attractive, or you're just so weird looking, or you have crazy tattoos, or you have a really crazy fashion sense, or you're really like really charismatic and loud, and or you have really crazy music, or whatever it is, like whatever it is, if you're a famous person, you're different than everybody else on some level, you know. And for most people, most musicians, usually if they want to make it, it requires being famous. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Well,
how,
there's a
I,
difference between being a musician and being a star or a performer. Like the person who plays bass for Usher is probably a fucking incredible musician, and that person probably also couldn't sell 5 tickets. And
yeah,
I don't mean
exactly.
that I don't mean that disrespectfully. That's just that
No,
person is a world-class god tier musician, but probably not a very good like entertainer, or
no,
he would be Usher.
and oftentimes they probably wanted it that way. You know what I mean?
But they
Like,
just don't have what it takes.
yeah, and
I
maybe
don't
that's
have what it takes.
maybe that's why they wanted it. I don't know, but like, you know, people. There's all kinds of like those traveling musicians, session players, even like honestly, even like a lot of like producers and shit,
Yep.
like, you know, hip hop producers or whatever. Like they just kind of want to be the secret genius, you know, kind of thing, which is totally cool, and like it's its own level of, you know, coolness about it, for
Mhm.
sure. But yeah, I mean, there are just some people and some things where I just like I've just always known that I would never be satisfied with life unless I got at least some level of like, you know, rock stardom, I guess. Like
Sure.
I just know, like I just know myself, and like I think it's because I know I can, and I
Mhm.
believe I can. So like just because I believe I can, I have to I have to prove it to myself or something. And like I couldn't just be okay with just like I could just like be a producer or whatever, and I love producing and stuff. But like, and I had years where
But
I
why
debated it.
stop there if you don't have to?
Yeah, I mean, I had years when I debated it because nothing was happening, like with my music, you know, just
Yeah.
because it wasn't good. I just sucked. Like it wasn't good enough yet, and like I was just still learning, and I still am learning. I'm always learning, but just like, you know, I had moments where I debated, maybe I'll just be a songwriter, maybe I'll just be a producer. Like I know I'm gonna do music, but like maybe I'll just be that. And then this year, and especially everything that's happened, has really just made me go, you know what, the fuck? Like I've always believed I could. My parents were always super supportive, and like I had a good upbringing, and they told me I could like do anything, and I fucking believe it. So I need to go like prove them right, and I need to go prove myself right, and just fucking show myself and show everybody that you can fucking achieve like what you want to achieve, as cheesy or like cliche as it sounds. Like
Well, you have
that.
to believe that that's true. I mean, it's just like with athletes. You have to believe that you're the best in the world, you know, or you've lost before you even started the game.
Yeah. You think LeBron doesn't think he's the GOAT?
Of
You know what I
course
mean?
he fucking but
Yeah. Of course he fucking thinks he's the GOAT. Like there is a layer of just like have to, and it's not even that like, you know, it's like not even that I think I'm the GOAT, because obviously I'm not the GOAT yet, but like I think I will be the GOAT. You know what I mean?
yeah, there
Like
has to be at least an element of you that believes that it's possible or you've lost before you even started. And that's a big thing that I like. People misinterpret this when I talk about it. They think that I'm doing some boomer like pull your stuff up by your bootstraps thing. It's not that at all. What I'm
yeah.
saying is like just that you have to believe that it is possible, or what's the point? You know, there's so many people that fixate so much on the obstacles, which are real. Like I'm not discounting the obstacles that anyone faces, and I'm not telling anyone stop making excuses, you snowflake. I'm just saying like you have to believe that no matter what obstacles are there, that there's a way for you to get through those or over those, around those, whatever, and make it happen.
Completely. And like, you know, just these past like 3 months, it's like feels like, I mean, I've been doing it for 10 years, and I've had plenty of obstacles, plenty of personal bullshit, plenty of health bullshit, plenty of music industry bullshit. I've had all kinds of like everybody does. Like
Sure.
it's impossible not to. There's always going to be something, always going to be some level of obstacles, and you just have to, I don't know. It's like it is like kind of that boomer thing where you just like kind of just like you just have to do it. You literally just have to believe it. Like I don't know, I don't even know how to explain how to believe it. Like you
Right.
just have to believe it. I don't know how.
I mean, that's something I've struggled with. I don't really think I believed in myself until about 4 or 5 years ago, you know? And once I flipped that switch, I was like, "Oh God, well, no wonder all the things I wanted to do didn't work out." Because the whole time I didn't really believe that I could do it. And, that just sort of subconsciously influences you to, I don't know if self-sabotage is the word necessarily, but like, I don't know, did you ever skateboard?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that I fucking skateboarded, but I do, and I was really into riding my fucking penny board around, like those little,
Okay. Well,
like me.
I
But
I
I've
was
never,
never I was never a good skateboarder, and the reason why is because when you're doing a trick on a skateboard, if you don't commit, you're not going to make the trick. You have to commit to potentially getting fucked up, or else halfway through you're going to bail and not make it. And I would never commit to the tricks. And so it's like that's why I would never land the trick.
yeah,
And I realized the same thing was happening to me with, with with the things I wanted to do professionally. I wasn't really committing. I wasn't really like saying, yeah, this might crash and burn and that might suck and I'm willing to take that risk.
yeah, that's an incredible way of putting it. That's like 100% the right metaphor for that, which is like, and for me, it was just like my parents always told me, like, there's no plan B. There's no plan B, Jairus. Like, and I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking plan B. I literally don't have a backup plan. I don't, and that's not to encourage everybody to like never have a backup
Sure.
plan. You can do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to have a backup plan, have a fucking backup plan. But for me, I just needed to go, like, I know this is all I want out of life. Like, this is it. And so I'm just going to do it. And I don't care if it kills me. Like,
Yep.
just like is gonna happen. And I still feel that way. Now it's just like, okay, I had to like, before it was like, okay, I need to like get a following and like get signed and like start making some money and like whatever, like all this shit. And now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, now I need to like become a fucking legend and
Yep.
win a and have a number one and like all these like, quote unquote, whatever goal, like music goals or whatever. And honestly, I don't even care about all that shit. It's just like,
You have to
I,
have a hill to climb though.
yeah, you have to have a fucking hill to climb. And right now, my hill to climb is fucking taking rock out of the fucking old man era, stuck in the mud, and bringing it to the fucking 2020s with a vengeance and making it the coolest fucking shit that anybody's ever heard. And like, I want it to be as cool as like SoundCloud rap was like 3 or 4 years ago. Like I want fucking 16-year-olds to be like, yeah, like I want it to be like the hottest fucking thing. And the only way we're going to do that is if it fucking sounds new. And it ain't going to sound new if we just keep dinking around on some old man shit.
And by the way, I should say your old band was very fucking good. I mean, it was kids and it was like not necessarily the best thing of all time, but for
Yeah.
kids, it's really fucking good. And I couldn't tell you played drums. I couldn't tell. I couldn't recognize you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a good fucking drummer.
Thank you. Yeah. Drums was like I said, that I thought I was going to be like a drummer for like a lot of my life. Like I was like, I just picked it up so easily and I became incredibly good at it really fast. Like I was 15 in that song, in that video.
And it sounds like you were a big fan of the Rev.
I was totally a big fan. Dude, I was a huge fucking Avenged Sevenfold was like, okay, so my like band, like the first artists I ever got like diehard about was like Slipknot was the first one where I was like so obsessed with Slipknot. And then
Great drummer with a very cool style, kind of like the Rev, that sort of like tight but sloppy.
Yeah, and then Avenged Sevenfold was like the second, like a very close second to that. And like the Rev, you remember when the Rev died?
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, just devastated. And then I saw them live like right after the Rev died, like the first tour or whatever they were doing, like from the Nightmare album.
Was Mike Portnoy playing on that one?
Yes, Mike Portnoy was playing. And actually, funny enough, the first concert I ever went to was a Dream Theater concert, where Mike Portnoy was playing. My dad took me to a Dream Theater concert.
So my point in saying all this is for anybody listening who's like, oh, these these new rap guys, they can't play instruments. You can play instruments better than probably 99% of people in real bands, from what I have seen on your TikToks.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I taught myself to play drum. I've taught myself everything. Taught myself to play drums, and then soon after that, when we were in the band, I was teaching myself how to play guitar. And I wrote a good majority of like our songs too, like on guitar. It was basically me and this other guy, which kind of writing all of them. And I'd write a lot of the riffs on guitar and stuff. And yeah, I mean, like people get really caught up in just the first, like obviously just like the very first impression is just damn. Like obviously know that I can like shred on anything or whatever. Like, of course you're not. But like as time goes on, I will reveal like these about myself like more and more. But
it is important to achieve your mission, even though personally, I don't give a fuck, what you use to make the sounds in the song. It could be dropping a fucking Hungry Man dinner on the floor. I don't give a shit. Personally, but rock fans do care about that. It's the same way as they all started liking Post Malone when they found out he plays guitar, and like he used to be in a shitty metalcore band, and now all of a sudden they think he's great.
Yeah, which is fine. Like playing musical instruments is amazing, and obviously I've done it. Like obviously I've dedicated huge chunks of my life to learning how to play them. But at the same time, people don't realize the computer is a fucking instrument, dude. And
absolutely. It's like the most complicated, like Ableton is the most fucking versatile instrument that has ever been made.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, and it's taken me, I've been really solidly like trying to teach myself how to produce for like 3 or 4 years. And I'm just now, and that's coming from a background where I was already like, I would say a professional at music, like playing guitar, playing drums, like singing, songwriting. Like I was kind of a pro, but like it's taken me 3 or 4 years to be able to even, it's taken 4 years for my skills of producing to catch up to the music I always knew I wanted to make.
Right. So all these TikToks that you do are those all like beats that you made? That's all self-produced?
Yeah. That's all shit I'm just doing in my room.
And so a thing that I like to talk about with people is being prolific and how valuable and important it is, especially with songwriting, to just make a lot of shit. For every TikTok that you put out, which I would call those like, those to me are like sketches. It seems like most of the time it's not a whole song. For every one of those sketches that you put out on TikTok, how many would you say that you make that don't ever see the light of day?
Well, as far as TikToks go,
or just like song ideas in general, I guess I just want to get a sense of like, for every one of these ideas that you release into the wild, how many sort of things do you make that never come out?
I mean, I have hundreds, like, I mean, literally I have hundreds. I mean, like, TikToks, I've actually, since this is all like for the past 3 months, I've never sat down to make a TikTok and like not put it up, like I've gotten it every time, sometimes it like takes a second to figure out like exactly maybe, but once I figure it out, it always like turns out. But
because you have exercised that muscle of songwriting for so long.
Oh, totally. And song ideas, I have hundreds of demos, scratch demos, beat ideas that I've, gotten halfway through and kind of been like, this is just kind of trash. Or maybe even songs I've done. I've had plenty of songs I've literally completely finished and then just kind of realized like, this isn't really quite like me or something, it's just not bad. It's not clicking. So like, it is super important to like, it's just like, you have to practice. If you're going to get good at guitar, you're not going to get good at guitar by
thinking about it.
or whatever, like watching a YouTube video or something. Like you have to sit there on your fucking computer and you got to fucking make beats, man. You got to you got to experiment and go crazy and like, just everything. Like you just have to treat it like a playground and like an instrument itself. And it totally is. It's the most diverse, complicated, crazy instrument there is. And a lot of what these old ass fucking geezers don't understand is that like, this is the hardest instrument. This is way harder to play than fucking guitar.
Because it's like a blank sheet of paper. You can do literally anything.
Literally anything. And also you're playing every instrument. Like you have to understand drums. You have to understand groove. You have to understand like melodies and chord. Like you have to understand everything. You sort of have to be able to play everything in order to play that computer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of one of those, it's a shitty fucking argument or just a stupid point by all these old heads that are like stuck in the mud that just like hating on like whatever, like just new era music. Cause it's just like, well, I mean, that's like when people, like when the guitar got first invented, it's like somebody hating on that or something. Like it's just stupid.
It's like someone who grew up flying a biplane, like looking at a 747 and be like, oh, I should get a real plane.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it is. It's just not what you're used to, you know, or it's new. Like, and honestly, that's also the thing that rock hasn't done correctly in the past, like whatever. They haven't made old people hate it.
Exactly.
What the fuck? Old people like rock too much. What the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I mean? That's why I think of like SoundCloud rap and like all this crazy, like, you know, when X and fucking Lil Pump and all these people were like making these huge fucking bangers with these blown out 808s and like screaming and stuff. I was like, dude, this is rock. Like this is the shit, because I guarantee you, I play a Metallica song around my mom and she's like, yes. But if I play D Rose by Lil Pump and I fucking blast it, she's gonna hate that. She's gonna be like, like literally, she'll be disgusted. And that's what rock is. Elvis was disgusting. He was the devil's music. He was, it's like whatever, that's the energy of rock to me, is those boundary pushing. It's that like getting your fucking parents to hate it. So like hip hop has dominated that space, you know, and just made like, they've just kind of been the thing that's like been cool, you know, because parents hate it. Old people fucking hate it. Rock, what I'm going to do to fucking rock is I'm going to make 40-year-olds shit their pants.
Here's the way I just realized this. I've been trying to think about this for years and really put my finger on this. I don't like music with small PP energy. I like big PP energy. And that's really what you're talking about here.
Yeah, dude. I'm talking about some ginormous PP energy, bro.
Well, I have one last question for you, or line of questions, because one of the issues that I have with rock, or at least the version of rock now, is I feel like they almost don't care that much about vocals or lyrics or vocal melodies. Like it feels like they just think about riffs, and nobody cares about the vocals or the top line. And that's very bizarre to me. And that's obviously something you're extremely good at. Can you talk about that a little bit and kind of how you think about lyrics and vocal melodies and that sort of thing?
Yeah, totally. So like, how do I start with this? So basically, you know, so when I was listening to metal and shit growing up, you know, I was listening, and when it was cool, I was listening to shit with like, you know, Slipknot had great choruses, you know, and Avenged Sevenfold had all kinds of crazy melodies and like all this kind of shit. And so like, I did grow up with that. And then like transitioning to later and like kind of being inspired by like rap, like SoundCloud rap and like all this newer shit that like has this big PP energy, so-called.
Exactly.
Is that, you know, it sort of came down to like that there wasn't a lot of like, the vocal was what was carrying a lot of the energy. I mean, obviously it's like the bass and shit, but there's no like, it was very simple, like the track wise, you know, it wasn't riffs, it wasn't really chord progressions. It's like, it might even just be like one note on the fucking 808, just a fucking huge thing. And then it's the energy of the vocal that is really carrying the excitement of the track. And I've kind of just always thought about this, like, you know, how to blend those two worlds of like super exciting vocals with, you know, like simple beats and like rock, and just how to blend all this stuff. And like, I guess just for me, like melody is something that's like my by far my strongest like trait of music is like melodies, just like little melodies. I can write like hooks or like little riffs or little catch lines or whatever in like 2 seconds to anything all the time. Like
the alphabet.
Like the alphabet, literally. Like I can just like, for whatever reason, that's just like what my brain understands and like gravitates to really quickly. So I would be stupid to not utilize that. And, I just think it's like, it's just what I like to hear. It's what I'm good at hearing. It's what I like to hear. And it's, I guess, no more complicated than that. Like, it's just like, I love good, catchy shit, good, catchy choruses, good, catchy riffs or licks or lines, or even if it's like an instrumental thing, like in the beat or whatever, like it's a catchy melodic line or a catchy sample or something. It's like there's a million different ways you can have a hook in something. But like, I don't know. I just feel like it's, I don't feel like it's a lot. I feel like it's a lost art in rock because like, when's the last time you heard a huge, like number one, like Billboard rock song? Like, but be it like I literally can't even think of like, what's the last Billboard number one, like on the, all of the charts, like that was like a rock song. I literally can't.
I guess MGK's album went to number one. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he had a single that went to number one, but
yeah. Okay. But MGK is great and all, and no shade on MGK, but like all that shit sounds like it came out 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, that's cool. But to me, it just like, I just want to yawn when I listen to it. Like, I just like, okay, cool. It sounds like it came out 10 years ago, and that's cool. It's like, you're bringing back this like thing and like people obviously liking it, but like, it just doesn't sound like the future to me. It just sounds like past. And like, I think it's just a play on nostalgia rather than like pushing something forward. And so, like I said, no shade on MGK,
sure.
But,
well, like, that's the thing that gets me going is I want to hear something I haven't heard before, something new. Like, I don't, I don't think that being new, original has inherent value necessarily, but if there's nothing new there, again, it's like, I don't know. I just can't really respect it artistically. I can recognize that it might be doing well commercially, and if the creator is enjoying it, that's great. But for me personally, if there isn't something new there that makes me go, "Oh, damn, I never thought about that," that's what I want. Like the first time I heard, like a lot of this like melodic rap kind of stuff that's happening now, that like I don't know, like Lil Baby, like he's so fucking mumbly. It almost sounds like. If
or
you do
even before that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Like that sounds super bizarre. It's like almost like water or something. This is cool,
Yeah. My entire Spotify now, you will never find a song that's just like singing and playing piano, like ever. It's just like, in order for me to like be interested in something, it literally has to be some kind of like, I haven't heard like something like this. It just has to be breaking some kind of boundary, because to me, it's like music 10 years. Okay. So music in 2030, that shit is going to sound way fucking different than music sounds now. Are you going to be are you going to have an impact? Are you going to be a founding father of like a whole new generation? Are you going to have like a splash? Are you going to be remembered at the end of that decade for ushering in a new thing? Are you going to be like a pioneer, or are you just going to fade into fucking nothing? Are you just going to get lost in the sauce and just have a band and whatever? Some people are totally fine with being an artist that just like has a solid fan base and they make what they want to make. And every artist is completely entitled to doing whatever the fuck they want to do. 100%. For me, I am so fascinated by the idea of like what music might sound like 20 years from now. Cause I just think of like, if I could play a song, like a SoundCloud rap song in the 1980s for people,
sure. We would barely even recognize it as music.
Yeah, would they even understand it? Like they would literally, every sound is completely foreign to them.
Yeah.
Every sound. It literally would sound like an alien made it or something. So
yeah,
I'm like, holy shit, is that what music is going to sound like in 2040? Like, what the fuck is that going to sound like? Whole new genres and waves are going to happen like over the next 20 years. And I am so excited about the idea of like, I can create that. I can like be there for that. I can help do that. That is just so exciting. And if I could get in the time machine and go listen to what music sounds like in 2040, I would do it in a fucking heartbeat, because I am endlessly fascinated with like what music could fucking sound like in the future, and just if it would even be recognizable to me.
Excellent. Well, I am on board with you. If you got tickets to that time machine, I will take one. And that sounds like a good place to end this. Anything that you'd like to add or plug, or any words of wisdom you want to leave the kids with?
Sure. Yeah. Basically, just to get the business out of the way, follow me on Instagram at Jeris Johnson, right? Jeris Johnson. On TikTok, Jeris Johnson. YouTube, Jeris Johnson. Everything's just Jeris Johnson. Go give me a follow and everything there, and keep up with the future, baby, because it's fucking happening. And I would just want to say thank you for having me. Your fucking your YouTube videos have been coming up on my recommended for like 6 months, and I watched like 3 of them like over the course of those 6 months. And then when you tweeted at me, I was like, I know this guy from somewhere. Like, I need to go like catch up. So I went and binge watched them all. I love your work. You're amazing. Thank you for having me on this podcast. It's an honor. And I would just say, like, if you want to go fucking change the world, go fucking do it. If you want to go make the future, go do it. And make sure you use fucking TikTok, because that's just the world that we live in now. So figure out a way, use technology to your advantage. It's a new era. It's the roaring 20s, baby. And let's bring rock into the future, and let's get back to terrifying some fucking grandmas again.